Today we're continuing down, breaking down this message from Sunday and talking about how our prayer life can take next steps. And on the other days, we talked about having a prayer life that moves us to action and a prayer life that transforms our thinking. And now we're going to talk about having a prayer life that encourages us when times are tough. Because you don't have to live on this world for more than 10 minutes to know that sometimes it's difficult. And maybe right now you're going through a season where it feels like the storms of life are just raging around you, where it feels like everything may be just a little too much, where it feels like you've been praying and asking God to move in an instant, or you've been praying and asking for redemption or renewal or restoration in a moment, and you just haven't seen it yet. And it's funny because a guy named Paul in Scripture talks about that very thing. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, he writes this. In verse 8, he says, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest upon me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardship, and in persecution, and in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Paul had this thorn in his side, as he describes it as he writes his letter to the church in Corinth. This thing that he pleaded and asked God to take away from him. This thing that he was pleading for restoration and renewal in. But he didn't get it. Instead, God comes back with this answer saying, my power is made perfect in weakness. And so in insult and in persecution and in hardship and difficulty, boasting his weakness, because Christ's power is made perfect in spite of his weakness. Paul learns this lesson and shares with the church in Corinth that our prayer life can be used as an encouragement to stand strong in the faith and to rest in the power of Jesus, even when life is difficult. Even when life is difficult, our prayer life can point to a God who says he is working all things together for good, and eventually all things will be renewed and all things will be restored. And so I can stand strong today and find encouragement today under the grace of Jesus, no matter what difficulty I'm experiencing. And so each day we've had this challenge of praying prayers differently. And we talked about praying prayers that move us and praying prayers that transform our thinking. And today I want to challenge you to pray prayers and ask God to help you stand strong in spite of your weakness or in spite of the hard situation you may be going through. Because in the midst of prayer, in the midst of this spiritual habit that allows us to pursue God more deeply, we can find encouragement, hope, and renewal. Hey, I hope you have a great day.